Ooh. Hello, everyone. We are live. Okay, Instagram says we're telling your followers that you've started a live video. Hold on, we're telling more followers. Hi, Soji Ben. My branding expert. Let me just type what we're doing today. World Blood Donor Day. Right. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to see how to pin this. Hello. Hi, Sojiben. It's been ages. I hope you even remember who I am. My branding expert. Ooh, oh, no. Vic Shepard. Hi, thanks for joining. Okay, so Jiben remembers who I am. Good. This my eyelashes is not bad. Last though. Yes, I am Rainbow to the FM. Well, that was a long while ago though. It was a long while ago. Thanks for joining in. So today is World Blood Donor Day. I'm trying to funkify this thing. It is not working. Hey, whoa. And I'm a rabbit. Hey, bro. Please give me a minute. 1 minute, people. Just a minute, please. I'm back. Sorry for the break in transmission. I had somebody screaming and banging my door. I had to go and quickly attend to that. Hey, Mr. Influence, how do you do? How are you? So today is World Blood Donor Day. And if you cannot tell, I'm wearing a red turban. Okay? It's the color of blood. Okay, so I'm twinning, apart from the fact that I have a bad hair day. Okay, actually a bad hair month since COVID lockdown. Well, I mean, it's not looking bad. I'm representing World Blood Donor Day. So today is World Blood Donor Day, and as an advocate for women and children's wellness, it's something that is of concern to me, because we all know how our maternal mortality rate is one of the highest in the world. I think we are 4th now, and I think we were worse before. The statistics was worse before, but glory be to God. I think we're making progress with it. So it's something that is of concern to me, because hemorrhaging and blood related issues account for majority of our maternal mortality rates in Nigeria, and it's a terrible thing. And there's all other issues surrounding it. I have guests today who will be joining me all the way from Ghana. For those of you who think that Ghana is not the abroad, please be careful. All the way from the abroad in Ghana, I have Mr. Influence, aka Peter Paul, aka Kente Master. He sent me his profile, and somehow he removed Kente Master. Me, I'm going to add Kente Master Peter Paul. I don't care what you say. So I'm just going to read Peter Paul's profile now. Peter Paul Akanko is a graduate of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology with a BSc in Biological Sciences, currently studying towards his master's in Public Health in the same institution. He is the founder of Plus One Life, a health startup into medical emergency education, training and services. Is a fellow of the President Obama's Young African Leaders Initiative, also known as YALI, which I am one. We're in the same cohort, actually. Amazing cohort. Shout out to Nigerian cohort 1. Peter Paul is a very versatile young man, one of whom I'm really proud. So I'm just going to bring him on now. He has experience in blood drive donations in Ghana. He has headed, or at least been in the midst of blood drive donations in Ghana, which is what I am personally trying to do. So how can we drive our blood donation in Nigeria? How can we up our game? Like, it's not a joke. Even if it's not like your closest relative, even if it's like a distant relative, a friend, I'm telling you, we have all lost someone because our blood banking system is not quite functioning well. So I'm going to invite Mr. Influence. Hi, Diva Pam, all the way from the United States. I miss you, Diva Pam. Thanks for joining. Hey, Peter Paul. It's
How are you doing?
amazing to see you. I'm well. Can you tell that I'm flying the color of World Blood Donor Day? Can you tell?
Sure, definitely. I can see it on your head. I'm also wearing my plus one life shirt.
I'm having a bad hair month, a bad hair year, but
coronavirus. Sorry about that.
Peter Paul, I have read your profile and I noticed that you removed Kente Master, and I added it myself. Look, Kente is our brand, one that we are proud of, international, global brand. All right, so Peter Paul is a young man doing amazing things. But when I was planning this live today, I just thought of blood donation, blood drive, and it just came to my head like that. So that's why we're here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here presenting you, myself and Peter Paul, yay, all the way from the abroad in Ghana, yay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to really run through what we want to discuss today. So we're just going to discuss major key facts. I mean, like, many of us don't even realize how bad things are with the blood banks, with blood donation, because it has not really affected us personally. And if it has, probably maybe they were in a private hospital where, in private hospital, they can cover a multitude of sins. They just make things happen for you. And then you really don't get to know that things are not well. All is not well with our blood banking. So we're going to talk about that. So we're going to say, why is it not working in Africa? What's happening with us? Is it our belief system? We're going to tackle that from your own experience, what you've heard people say. I've also heard some pretty amazing things past couple of days during my research. I'm going to share that as well.
Yeah.
So we're now going to look into we've talked about the problem. What's the solution? Who can give blood? What can you do? What can I do as a person?
Yeah.
So those are the things we are going to quickly cover. And we're also going to have Dr. Ruben Gibil up in a moment to give us a professional perspective. I mean, both of us have background in medical sciences, but it's not the same thing as being a doctor. So we need the main guys to come and also tell us what's from their own perspective. Thanks for inviting Dr. Ruben Gibil, by the way. And I also want to thank Olarotimi Bukola very specially, my own doctor, who gave me pointers in the right direction to where to look when I was doing this research. Thank you so much, girl. So, Peter Paul, over to you. What are the facts around blood donation? What are the key facts that we need to be
Okay.
aware of?
Yeah. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm glad to be invited to share the little I know in this sector. And yeah, I'm glad for the great work that you're doing. Thank you so much, Ayo. I'm proud of you, the great work that you're
Thank you.
doing as well. And for
Thank
my
you.
organization, Plus One Life, we have our focus on medical emergencies, education, training, and rescue services. And I mean,
Right.
one, we cannot talk about medical emergencies without and leave out blood or blood donation, because that
True.
is one key thing. Actually, talking about the facts of blood donation, especially in our setting in Africa here. And one of the main things that really affect blood donation is a lot of the beliefs that people carry around blood donation.
Tell
Yes.
me about it.
And actually, even in some churches or some religions, they believe that they don't believe in blood donation because, I mean, we all know the SDA people don't really believe in blood donation because, I mean, they have their own beliefs. But that is one main thing we can talk about, which also affects this sector. But apart from that, other individuals, okay, themselves, they believe they think that when they donate blood, maybe they will not have enough blood themselves, or
True.
this is going
I
to
heard
happen
that
to
too.
them.
I heard that.
Yeah, they don't have enough blood themselves, and I mean several other beliefs around it. But I think that there are some key things we need to talk about to help to demystify this whole myth about blood donation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first thing you should know is that blood donation, when you donate blood, it doesn't mean that you are going to be short of blood yourself,
True.
because I mean the medics. I mean, I know Dr. Ruben will talk more about that. The medics know the volume of blood they will take from you. They know the volume of blood that you need. So actually, donating blood will not make you yourself lose blood or not have sufficient blood. And also,
Right.
some people maybe have the fear that when they go to donate blood, maybe they'll get infections or those kind of stuff. But you should know that
True.
blood donations are done under very serene environments and yeah, very septic conditions too as well. So
Yes.
the object they use, the people who carry it out are actually professionals and
Mm-hmm.
they know how to do it very well. And so you shouldn't be afraid of that. And the other thing you should know is that as you are refusing to donate blood or maybe even having all these things, one thing you should know is that it could be you in that condition who needs the blood, because you never know when you will have a medical emergency.
Very
Probably today
true.
is having a medical emergency and needs blood, but you are afraid, you don't want to donate and all that. But you never know when you would need blood yourself. And that is why we are encouraged to go and donate blood, because I mean today it might be someone else needing the blood, but tomorrow it could be you. And actually donating blood also has a number of benefits even to your health. And
True.
number one,
I had
number one
I
is
read I read some really interesting ones. I hope you get to it. I read some really
I'll just
okay, go
mention it.
ahead.
Yes, the number one thing is that it reduces the iron, let me say your iron storage, the iron in your blood. And that could actually, like, when you have so much iron in your blood, it could actually lead to a heart attack. So when you donate blood, it reduces this iron storage, which could actually reduce your, let me say, your possibility of getting a heart attack.
Yes.
And it also takes away some stress from you too as well. Donate
Mm.
when you donate blood, and it also improves your social well-being as a person. These are
Yeah.
some key benefits we can talk about with regards to
Okay.
blood
I read.
donation.
Let me say the ones that I read because I know
Yeah,
that many people are going to like this one. Many people in the fit farm gang. I read somewhere that it helps you to control your weight. I don't know
yeah.
how that happens, but I've read it. You
Mm,
know how the reactions work in the body. It helps to control the weight.
mhm.
It
Yeah,
helps to also have a healthy liver. You know, the liver is involved in a lot of our blood work. So it
sure.
helps us to have a healthy liver. It keeps cancer away. So they're not saying you'll never have cancer if you donate, but somehow it kind of reduces the risk of cancer. It helps in a smooth blood circulation, and it helps in burning calories. That's my favorite one. Me, I've been looking for a way to lose weight without not eating. Right? Like, I don't want to eat, I don't want to gym, I just want to be slim. Boom. Anyways, so those are some of the highlighted benefits of donating blood frequently and often. And as you said, I mean, like, I heard a lot of myths about why people are scared to donate blood. Another one is the religious angle. You know, as Africans, we are very religiously inclined, or should I say spiritually. So apart from certain sects believing in blood donation, you know how blood is just life and everything. And some people just feel like, it can help them to access witchcraft can easily witches can easily access their blood and they use their blood for some concoction. Like when they take the blood away from them, they don't know where it's going, so they are afraid. Like, oh my God, I mean, if these people are witches, that all they need is just a drop and I'm doomed. I think that's one of the fears of African people in donating blood. And as you said, everybody is afraid of, they're afraid of a repercussion. Like, okay, what if I give blood and then my blood is not enough? What if I give blood and then I need blood? What if? So as you said, all these things, there's due process and there's standards with blood donation. You are not just going to come, even if you're donating as a voluntary donor, nobody is just going to bleed you like, oh, you are here, oh, we are so glad, come. No, they're going to counsel you, they are going to ask questions, because there are certain things that even prevent you from being verified as somebody who ideally donates blood. Yes. So we've busted some of those myths. So blood donation is just simply taking some of your blood, which we usually have in a bit of excess, and giving somebody who needs it or who may die because their own is absolutely not enough. Right. So we have talked about what blood donation is. So why is this important? So as I mentioned before, there is a lot of categories of people that survive with other people's blood. It might be continuously, it might be one-off. For example, all those acute hemorrhaging in issues of accidents and emergencies. I mean, those things are like decisions that should be made in minutes. There are processes that should happen. We don't have time to be waiting. Okay, please, who has blood? Like their life is literally counting in minutes. From the time they get to the hospital or from the time the accidents happen. So there is no time to now be running around. This is one of the reasons why we need an effective blood banking system in Africa. We are dying needlessly. So many people who have died, I'm telling you, in Africa, like maybe up to 80% did not have to die. Right. Definitely. So, and I think there's also the one that is most dear to my heart. I am not biased, but maternal mortality rate is something else. Like, did you know, like, hemorrhaging is, so when we keep talking about, oh, Africa's maternal mortality rate is so high, so nobody really questions why. Nobody really asks what is going on. What is going on? Most of those hemorrhaging, like, these women are losing blood faster than they can be saved. And because we don't have that efficient blood banking system where, you know, you can just get blood now, somebody needs blood and, you know, we can have it arranged. These women are dying for nothing. Well, for lack of blood, really. Then there's, what other thing came to my mind as well, apart from then there's people living with conditions like sickle cell anemia, right? Yeah, sure. People living with conditions like those guys, like, I mean, they are constantly being transfused. Where is this blood coming from? I mean, there's a limit to how many of their relatives they can go and be calling to donate blood for them each time. Right? So all these kinds of issues, and I mean, sickle cell is just one. There are other conditions I know that, I mean, require some form of transfusion often per person. So these are some of the things that happen, and I'm just looking like, okay, I think people need to understand what is involved here. People need to understand what is really going on, what is at stake, what is the impact, because when something is it's like COVID-19, all of us are living our lives normally now, probably because, I mean, those numbers don't relate to us because probably we don't have COVID. We don't know anyone who has had it. We only see it on TV. So it's a big distance. You don't, it's not hitting home. And I think it's the same problem we have with blood donation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's one of the things that was
Sure.
really heavy in my mind.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's very, very important because without that, our foundations are weak. The foundations of our healthcare system is very weak because I mean,
Very,
a lot of conditions which require like blood donations, just as you've talked about, like the maternal mortality. People who are pregnant, they need blood, anemia, cancer, hemophilia, kidney disease, and several
mm-hmm.
of them. And I mean, if we don't have a lot of people being willing to donate blood, I mean, and there's a shortage, that is really going to be serious. So that
Well,
is why
there
we are
is,
really
there
encouraging.
is a
Yes,
shortage
sure,
already. There
definitely, yeah,
is a shortage.
already, yeah. But I mean, if the situation continues that way, it's even going to be worse. So it is
Yeah,
good that
so
we all are able to join forces to donate blood. And
yes.
actually, one other thing too, I forgot. If you like in Ghana here, if you're a blood donor who has a card and you need blood, you are given priority. Once
You
provided
have
the
a card.
hospital
Okay, a
a
card.
card,
Okay,
card,
a blood donor card. Okay,
yes.
okay.
So if you're a blood donor,
I
you
mean,
have a
it's only
card.
fair. It's only fair that
Yes,
I've been donating to other people.
yes. So even you or even a family member of yours, when they need blood, there's a priority placed on you. Once the hospital has that blood, you'll be given it. So I think that's so encouraging enough for
That's
us
one
to
motivation.
yes,
Yes,
us
yes,
to
yes.
um,
So we also talked about some of the myths that
yeah,
is holding us back in Africa, like your blood is going to be used for witchcraft. That's not possible. As
not
Peter
at
Paul
all.
said, there's due process. Like everybody, I
Yes.
mean, like a minimum of 5 people will attend to you, and all 5 of them can be witches. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
will speak up. There's due process
Sure.
in these things. I don't think there's a
Definitely.
likelihood of that. For those who even
Def
believe in witchcraft in the first place, right?
yeah.
So there's no likelihood. Well, I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
likelihood of that's extremely negligible.
Yeah.
I also read somewhere that men were afraid to donate blood because they felt to affect their sexual libidos. I'm like, really? Come on, guys, come on.
That
I
is
mean,
not true
I
at
think
all.
that's also a myth, right? I mean, you're a
Yeah,
guy, so
it's a
you should
myth.
be able to
It's a
tell
myth.
us.
It's
I
a
think
myth.
it's a myth.
It's
I
not
don't
true.
think it would affect your libidos if you
Yeah,
donate blood.
not in any way.
Also, I mean, I mean, gone are the days when needles were being sterilized. I mean, that was
Mm-hmm.
way back. Like when people they
Yeah.
used to reuse needles and sterilize. I mean,
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
everything is sterile. They use once
Yeah.
and discard. So
Sure.
if you didn't have an
Everything is
infection
fresh.
before, if you
Mm-hmm.
didn't have an infection before, the likelihood that you're going to get an infection after you've donated the blood is
Yeah.
extremely likely as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't think of any of the other myths that is holding us back. There's one very important one. So I mean, someone sent me a voice note that unfortunately I can't air it because
Mm.
there was a lot of name calling, so I cannot, make it public. But
Yeah.
he mentioned that he was worried because we don't even understand what the process of the blood banking is. So what is it from donor to recipient? What happens in
Mm.
between? We don't know. So what is the
Yeah.
process? So he feels like, I mean, because for every time that you had a friend, a relative who needs
Yeah.
blood, and they are charged heavily for it in the hospital. So you then
Yeah.
wonder,
Yeah.
why should people get to donate blood voluntarily only for people to be making money off of it?
Off of it.
Right?
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
is another really big issue that
Yeah.
several people, including myself, have. Although I do
Okay.
not really understand what goes on in
Yeah.
between, probably the
Yeah.
doctor will be, or even you will be able to
Yes.
help. What
So
goes on in
Ruben,
between? I
Ruben
know
will
that it
talk.
can be free.
Yeah.
I know it can't be free because the test they are going to run, I mean, it comes at a cost. Someone's got to pay for the
Mm-hmm.
test and all that. And
Yeah.
I mean, they have to. So maybe a
Yeah.
minimal fee. So another thing that worries people is I cannot be a voluntary donor, give you my blood for free of charge, and then you
Mm-hmm.
go and then sell it exorbitantly to people
Yeah.
who end up using it.
Sure.
So yeah, that's all
Yeah.
I got.
Great.
Hi, Nibo
So
Queen. Go
so right
ahead.
now I'm talking about who can donate blood. Basically the
Yes.
criteria who can donate blood. Then afterwards, I'll let you bring Ruben on, who will then talk about like the question you asked when someone donates blood, what is it being used for, how is it kept, and all that, and then also the process involved, let's say in blood donations as well as blood transfusions and other technical things. So
Yeah.
talking about who can donate blood, basically the WHO recommends that anyone between the ages of 16 and then 18 and 65
Okay.
need blood. It may vary a bit in some countries. Some countries allow someone who is 16 or 17, provided he or she meets the other criteria which are needed. And then some countries, to the end is actually 60 years, but WHO says 18 to 65.
Okay.
And apart from that, you shouldn't have any infections like cold, flu, viral infections like hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV/AIDS, because I mean all those ones you'll be screened for all these infections. If you have those infections, you can't donate blood because that can be transferred to someone else. Also, talking
Yep.
about weight, the minimum weight is 50 kilograms. Although some countries may be 45 if you meet certain conditions, but minimum weight recommended by WHO for you to be able to donate blood is 50 kilograms. And then they also say that if you've had a tattoo, you cannot donate blood until after 6 months, because
Oh, really?
yeah, if you have a fresh tattoo until after 6 months, you can't donate blood because yeah, sometimes there could be infections and all that. And if you've had a
Yes.
piercing too, that one too, unless after 12 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you've gone for a surgery, like maybe a dental surgery or something, that could also take unless after 24 hours before. Yeah. And if you are pregnant, you are not allowed to, because I mean that's a
Okay.
health condition which is quite critical itself. And if you are
Yes.
breastfeeding as well, you are also
Okay.
encouraged to donate blood because you need to take care of your baby yourself. So these
Yes.
are some conditions which do not allow you to donate blood. But apart from that, if you are healthy and you don't have any of these infections or any of these conditions, you can be able to donate blood. And
Okay.
donating blood will not really affect you in any way. Some few effects you can feel is maybe right after donation. Right after donation you could feel a little dizzy, but that is just
Okay.
for a few, let's say,
That's
minutes, and
normal,
then
right?
it's normal. That's normal.
Okay.
Once you eat,
Okay.
you will be fine.
Okay.
Yes. So I think right now you can add Rubin, and when you are done talking about the technicalities as to what goes on before someone donates blood, and then once is the blood is donated, what is
Let me
done with it?
see.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if he's here. I don't think he's here.
I
Okay, he's
think
here. He's
he's
here. He's here.
joined
He's here.
in.
We
Yeah.
can see him. Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So okay, can you please request to join Dr. Ruben? Let
Rubin.
me see.
Yeah.
Please request to join. So I'm I really want to hear about
Yeah.
your blood donation drive in Ghana. I'm super
Yeah.
interested. How did you
Once,
people do it? We want
sure.
to know. We want to
So after
know.
Rubin, then I can come and then talk more on that.
Okay. I can't really see him now.
I think he's waving.
He's
Let
waving,
me
but he
check.
needs to request to join
He
the
needs to
video.
request to join, eh? Okay.
Yes.
Ruben, can you request to join the video?
Oh, I think maybe you need to go off.
Off before?
Now we're confused. I guess. Yes, I think you need to go off, then we bring him on. I think that's how it
Okay.
works.
All
But
right,
I do
sure.
not know. Okay, I'm removing you now. Okay. Then I'm going to add him. Okay, we're getting the hang of all these things. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
getting good. Hey, Dr. Ruben, all the way from Ghana.
Hello.
Hi, how are you
Hi.
doing? Nice to see you.
Oh, nice seeing you
You
too.
doctors look like mere mortals. After you come out of the hospital and you're not wearing any of your regalia, you look like dudes, right? Like then suddenly we see you in the hospital and we're like, okay, doc. Anyway, it's really nice to meet you. So let me
Yeah.
just read your profile, Dr. Ruben Gibil.
Yeah.
Pardon me. He's a medical doctor trained in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and he's currently studying towards his master's in public health at the University of Ghana. He's a general physician. He's worked in various hospitals in Ghana, including the HO, is that HO? Teaching Hospital, University
Yes.
Hospital, as the nurse, and is currently working at St. Joseph's Hospital in Koforidua. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that well.
Oh, no,
However,
that's how it
all
is.
this just tells me that you have experienced, I mean, you've come in contact one-on-one with issues where, blood donation was just an issue. Those heartbreaking moments for you guys when you knew that something could have been done. So tell us about it very briefly, and also tell us about what really goes on between blood, when we donate our blood and when the recipient gets it.
Okay. So with people who need blood, well, like you said, I've come in contact with a lot of them at the health facilities where people
Okay.
come with very low blood levels. Some
Mm.
are emergency situations. Others too can buy you time in order to give them the blood or to satisfy their needs. However, in order to give blood, he would have already mentioned that for those who donate blood, they are given identification cards. And
Okay.
these identification cards bring them privileges of being prioritized when they need blood. That is provided the blood is available in the banks at whichever facility they are at that point in time.
Wow.
So when it comes to what happens between the donor and then the person receiving, once donor makes the blood available to the facility, first of all, per the requirements, the blood is being screened to make it clear of any infections such as viral infections like HIV, hepatitis B, and make sure it's clean. Then after that is done, it is grouped and then labeled, where it is then stored in the bank. Now, when somebody comes to the facility needing blood, first of all, we try to categorize it into emergency situations and then those that are non-emergency situations. For the emergency
Okay.
situations, there are those that when you don't give it to them within the shortest possible time, maybe in about 6 to 12 hours or even within 24 hours, the person can pass out or can die. Those are the ones that are really pressing. So when you come like that, whether you have a card or not, we try as much as possible to give you whatever blood is available. Now, a sample of the one in need of the blood is taken, and then it is cross-matched against what is available in the blood bank, such that you can get the exact match of blood that the person can receive. And then you give immediately. You don't have to wait for them to go and donate and make available blood before you give. Now, after you have given the blood, you then ask them to replace the blood. So before you give it, you let them sign a contract that they would come and replace that blood
When
at
they are
the
well.
blood bank. Yes, usually, because the person is not donating him or herself at that point in time, the person just needs to get a relative or a donor
Oh,
who
I
can
see. Okay, it
go
doesn't
and
have to be they themselves replacing the blood. It could be anybody else, but that pint
no.
will be gotten back.
Surely. So it is not the sick person who is replacing the blood. I can't give you blood and then take the blood back.
Take
No.
it back.
There's,
Okay.
so obviously it is a donor, that is a relative or somebody you think is fit to donate, who comes to the facility and then sorts that out with the lab or the blood bank, where they go and then they are screened and then they donate to replace what you have taken. Now, in situations where the person has tried to get people and it's not getting, or the person has brought people who are not fit to donate the blood for replacement. There's a system where a fee is charged for the blood that has been given, where the person pays as part of his or her bills for the blood that has been given. However, that is not being encouraged, because if everybody is going to pay for the blood, then it's going to get to a
Who is
point
going to
that
donate
there'll be
it?
no blood at all.
There will
Exactly.
be lots of money and no blood.
Not at all. And that's a very dangerous situation, because right now it is very obvious that a lot of people don't want to come willingly to donate. So it's becoming quite a challenging situation. Yes. But for those who have who have been donating frequently, and then they have the card, when you come, because of that privilege of you getting blood for free, you have a number of units that you can receive within a year. I'm not too sure about the number, but
Okay.
once you are one of those people and then you come and your card is available, which proves that you've been donating or helping other people, it means that you're supposed to get blood for free at that point in time. So once you are done with the transfusion and everything, you don't really need to replace, because you have been donating. However,
Okay.
if you have people who still can donate to replace, fine, that is a plus for us. We wouldn't refuse it. So we would still take that, and then we'll add to our reserves, such that we can help
Wow.
other people when they need it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that sounds very amazing, doctor. But for me, I feel like, like we need to now start looking at more sustainable ways of filling our blood banks and making this blood available, in terms of the availability, in terms of the logistics of it, in terms of the donor drives and everything. We need to get to a more sustainable place, right, where somebody can walk in. Because imagine, there are many people, it's the 21st century. Many people are living on their own. They don't really associate, no friends. They don't want any friends or family involved in their affairs. So these kinds of people now may not necessarily have anyone who can be willing to donate for them or to replace the blood they've been given, and those kinds of things. So how do you think we can get to where our fellow humans in the more developed parts of the world have gotten to, where they are not even really having to talk about issues like this? So voluntary donations, and in Nigeria, quite a number of people go to the hospitals and get paid to donate their blood. I feel like it sounds bad, but I think probably the healthcare workers are also desperate. There's a point where you are kind of desperate. You need this blood. Money is not really going to help when you need blood. You have the
Yeah.
money, so let's pay these people to donate, and then we transfer the cost to the recipient. That also is
Yeah.
not very sustainable, because in Nigeria, for example, in the research that I've read online, many people who come to donate, to get paid donors, are most guys that are on drugs. They are on the streets. They are those guys that need quick cash to be able to
Yeah.
fund their social lifestyle and buy the next available drugs. There are
Yeah.
maybe people who live on healthy lifestyle, whose bloods are not quote unquote ideal to be donated.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of people who will come forward and say, I want to sell my blood for money.
Yeah.
So that's also not sustainable. Now, the issue of what's it called now, replacement donors, to say we've given you blood, you need to replace, is also not very sustainable. Because I know in Nigeria recently, I don't know if you heard about it, there are certain general hospitals that the requirement for you to be registered for antenatal is that your husband must donate and keep in the blood bank. So I think you need to bring 2 relatives to donate 2 pints of blood, and they will tell you, just in case you need it, the blood will be there. And in the event
Yeah.
that you don't use it, well, that's their gain. It sounds
Yeah.
noble, but then it is a human rights issue. You can really not put a gun to somebody's head and say, because we are so desperate, we need you to donate by force. So there's this
Yeah.
NGO that fought that case, and they won. And there was a lot of, going back and forth. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done this. Blood is scarce. I am in the middle, because I understand both parties. We are desperate. We hear about the maternal mortality rates. We know that hemorrhaging is a major issue. We know that women are dying because blood is not available to them when they need it. We also know of
Yeah.
human rights issues. You cannot just be forcing people to donate blood when they don't want to. So you put it as a
No.
condition for their wives to be attended to in the hospital. So they won the case, and I don't know if it's been implemented, but in the courts they've discontinued putting what's it called, replacement donors or family member donations as a condition to access antenatal. So what are some of the
Okay.
sustainable ways that you think that we can get to in our blood banking system?
Okay, so our blood banking system, it is quite a challenge because it depends on the individual perception and understanding of blood donation. Because it's supposed to be a willing thing from your heart that I
Yeah,
want to donate blood. Number two, the
true.
other limitation is so many people having a lot of chronic conditions or acute conditions that inhibit them from doing the donation. And these are challenges though, but well, we can't get a full grasp on it. However, in Ghana, we have a system where from time to time there are platforms being set up where people are, I mean, educational sessions are undertaken to get people to understand the necessity of donation, and then to clear their conscience of all those funny myths, those beliefs that they have about it that prevent them. Like you mentioned, I heard some of them really funny. so once you get into their minds and then you free them of all these wrong beliefs, or you just get to program their minds to be free and willing to come up to donate on themselves. Good.
Mm,
The other thing is we do we organize regular donation campaigns where you move around from, I mean, community to community. You do the educational sessions. Then after that, you give them the opportunity, because right then some people's minds are changed towards this. Right
yes.
then, once you talk to somebody and then you're able to educate the person better, you get into the person's mind. Right then the person is willing to come and donate, because you might leave and then later on the person, even how to motivate the person, doesn't have the motivation to come all the way to a facility in order to donate. So right then you offer them an opportunity where you make available the resources for voluntary donations to take place. So
Okay.
if you organize this frequently, I think you would be able to get a lot of reserves. Yes, obviously some of them later on after screening would not be fit for transfusions, but
Mm.
you get more. The more you get, the more
The
your
more
chances of
chances
getting.
of getting good blood. I get it.
Exactly,
So there's
exactly.
one other issue that I wanted you to help us clarify. So a lot of people are worried. A lot of people who would voluntarily donate their blood are worried that what's the essence of them donating voluntarily and freely when the recipient is going to be charged to get the blood. So can you quickly help us explain that for those people that are thinking, I don't donate voluntarily because the hospitals sell the blood anyway. People get paid to receive the blood. So why should I donate it freely?
Okay. So that is what I mentioned something about that at the beginning when I began. Said that we classify them under emergency, and then those that are not emergencies. Now, for those that are emergencies, we don't have a choice. It's the life first. We save the life first. Then we deal with the blood later, getting back the blood. So you donate your blood. We don't sell blood. It's not a blood market. No, we're not vampires. We don't sell the blood. We actually give it to people who need it at an instant. So
Okay.
if it's an emergency situation, I can't wait for someone to kind of donate before I give it to you. By that time, you might have, died already. So
True.
we give you what is in the bank, the reserves. That's why we want to have reserves. We give it to you, and then we work towards getting it back with, I mean, a donor that you have brought to replace. So your blood that you gave saved her, but that person replaces it. You understand?
Okay.
To save that life later. Aha. That's how it goes. However, now assuming the person comes, tries, brings maybe like 5 people, and these people are not eligible to donate, or there's something wrong with the blood that they have donated, you can't use it. Now, that is a situation where that we cannot do anything about at that point in time, because genuinely the person has attempted, the person has made effort, but it's a natural problem that those people were not eligible. So, however, you can't just give the blood at that point. So you would rather charge the person for the blood. So, I think there's a fee in Ghana. There's a fee that is being charged for that. That's because the person has already received the blood, and there's nothing you can do about it because the person is not getting any donor to come in and replace that. So that is where the charges come in. But it's not like we're selling blood. No, we're not selling. We're not selling blood. we don't need to sell blood. That's not right. That's not right. Majority of them we don't sell to them. We get them to replace the blood you came and donated. So the next time you also come, you would also have blood available to be transfused when it's needed.
Wow, yes. That I hope. Let me say, I hope the person that asked that question is actually here listening. It was on earlier, so it should hear that. I mean, there's a lot of technicalities involved in these things that we don't really get to be aware of. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruben. I mean, this has been amazing clarification. Like, we are more enlightened about this. At least the process is clearer. We understand, about priorities, emergencies, and those kinds of things. And we pray and hope that, Africa will get to the point where we are not having to have this discussion every World Blood Donor Day. Every year. We don't want to keep repeating the same issues. Thank you so much. If you have anything to add, I just want to bring Peter Paul back quickly, but if you have anything to add before we let you go.
Oh, I think you did justice to the rest of it. So
namaste, Dr. Ruben. Hope to see you sometime soon. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Happy World Blood Donor Day.
Happy World Blood Donor Day. Thank you.
Okay. Paul, are you still here? Are you still here? Okay, he's here. Hi, Peter Paul.
Hello. Great.
Wow, I feel like he answered like plenty things. Plenty load was lifted off my chest in like a couple of minutes we had him on. So thank you for bringing him down here to us.
You're welcome.
So I want you to quickly, before Instagram kicks us out in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So quickly just tell us your experience with your donation drive. What are the lessons that we can learn? If there's any of us who is going to start that kind of course, what do we need to start? How do we go about it? Yeah.
Great. So already, as we have said, people have this myth about blood donation. People are scared and all that. So if you want to drive a blood donation exercise, you only have to do it under a more relaxed environment where people can, have that peace of mind and not be afraid to donate. So what we have done with our blood donation exercises is that it's normally like an event where there's music, there is food for the donors. Yes.
Blood donation drive is expensive. Who is going to fund it?
Yes. So, and that is why these kind of things, let me say, cannot be one person doing it. Most of the donation exercises we've done, we did it in partnership with other organizations. So we handle, like, everyone handles some aspect. One organization can handle bringing the sound system. One organization can handle the food, and then other things like that. And actually, you could get a lot of sponsors, people like, let's say, Indomie or other organizations, let's say food organizations and stuff, could really be glad to be a part of exercises like this. So normally we have it like an event. with as I said, with sound, with food there. So anyone who comes to donate is given some food and even sometimes some other incentives too as well. Even though that cannot be compared to the blood we are donating, but I mean we let them understand the whole importance of the donation exercise. But even before the event itself, what actually helps is the publicity as well as sensitization. So even before,
Okay.
let's say we're having a blood donation in a month time, before that, we start sensitizing people, we start sending out messages. And there's actually this radio station in Ghana or in Kumasi which does that a lot. It's called Love FM. So they have blood donation exercises every quarter. So normally they do a lot of publicity. Talking about blood donation, why you should donate. They even sometimes bring some speakers on board, like health personnel, to come and talk about the importance of donating blood. So once you're able to do the sensitization very well, it really helps. And it's also good to work with institutions. For example, we have been working a lot with, because we are situated in Kumasi, we work with Clear University, the university here. So we work with the university students here. So if you're able to work with institutions too, it helps. You can work with university students. You can work with some organizations, talk to them to bring their members. Normally, if you're able to get organizations which bring like a number of their members, it helps rather than targeting individuals, because with the
True.
individual targeting is quite difficult. But I mean, the sensitization is very necessary. You can use social media. Now, social media helps a lot. You can use social media. You can use radio stations. You can make flyers. You can go like normally on KNUST campus. We go to the student halls. We go room by room and we talk to them about the blood donation and then inviting them to the program. And then that could also be done, as Ruben was saying, sometimes going to communities. Yeah, so you could target some communities too as well. Go and talk to them about it, about the whole blood donation. But on the day itself as well, the environment, the music, the food, and then the other packages which you can get. And as well, even when they come before the donation is done, there's a little session to talk to them again. If some people come there, maybe they are not really convinced, we try to talk to them again about the whole essence of the blood donation, what is going to be used for, and try to demystify their thoughts on it. And as I said, partnership is very, very important. So if it is something you want to undertake, look around and see which organizations can I partner with. They must not necessarily be health organizations. They could be
True.
organization which is into food products, which is into drinks, which is into any other cause at all. But once this is a cause that you think that these people will be willing to support, you can bring them on board. Whether they're going to donate financially, whether they're going to donate water, food, drinks, or whatever it is, even if it's souvenirs, you could get some souvenirs for those who are coming to donate. So once you have a number of organizations together, you're able to do your sensitization very well. I think that this should help. This is what has been helping us along the way. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask now. So when you get this blood, because when do you get the materials, the
Yes.
healthcare practitioners? How do you
Good.
store them? You know that they are going to blood banks. So do you also work with blood banks? Do you work with the government? So which other levels of partnerships is needed to achieve this level of blood drive?
That's a great question. So yes, we are actually championing the drive, but we are not the ones taking the blood. We work directly
Oh,
with
I
blood
see.
banks, yeah, or the
Aha.
hospital. Once that we are located, we work with the Confanochi Teaching Hospital, which is the biggest hospital in Kumasi here. So we bring the health personnel from there. They are from the blood bank. So we bring them there, and they actually do the talk, and they talk to the people, the donors, about it first. And they are the ones who do the screening and everything and taking the blood, and afterwards they take it back. We are only championing the cause. We are only bringing together the donors and organizing the whole event. But it is the health people that we partner with to do this, and that is surely the way to go. So you partner directly with the health facilities or those at the blood bank, and then you work with them when you are doing your various campaigns. Yeah.
Well, this is amazing, Peter Paul,
Yeah.
because I mean it's an emergency situation in Africa, the way our
Mm-hmm.
blood banks are structured at the moment.
Yeah.
And so what you're saying now, if I have to recap, is that
Mm-hmm.
anybody can do a blood donation drive. We
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't wait for the government to do everything.
Yeah.
However, we need to partner with the right people, like the blood
Yes.
banks.
Mm-hmm.
There's what's this institution? I'm trying to remember what they are called. I think they are in every country. The National Blood Transfusion Service. I don't know if you guys are named that in Ghana, but there's the National Blood Transfusion Service.
Mm.
We can reach, as in Nigeria, you can reach out to the National Blood Transfusion Service. There's also privately owned blood banks like Life Bank. I
Okay.
mean, they are doing such an amazing job. They have
Yeah.
they have partnership with Google. They
Mm-hmm.
have backing of technology to help them do their drive and everything.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
saying that just implement all these partnerships you mentioned, these
Mm-hmm.
steps,
Yeah.
we are good to go. So imagine
Yeah.
imagine like 5 people doing it in every state. I mean that should
I mean,
make
that would be
some
great.
difference,
Yeah. I think one
because I
thing,
mean,
yeah. Okay.
go
I just
ahead.
wanted to say one thing, yeah. So, from time to time, people do organize, let's say, birthday parties, right? People organize a birthday party for people to come and drink and stuff. Sometimes their birthdays, they go to do donations, and then we have organizations which are also doing corporate social responsibility. And I
I
think
see.
we can begin to talk to people to be able to engage in blood donation in
As
when they
they are
have
serious.
these things for your birthday that you want to have, let's say an event, a social event or something, um, you can actually organize a blood donation exercise, bring together people,
Wow.
do that. For organizations, we do this corporate social responsibility. Yes, those are also good, but they can add blood donation drives to what they do as their corporate social
Awesome.
responsibility because actually
Awesome.
everyone needs blood. You never know when you would be in an emergency situation. So I think that we can begin to sensitize people along these lines so that a lot of people will have that at the back of their minds when they want to do activities. They should actually also consider blood donations because that will
Wow.
actually, yeah.
Peter Paul, this is an amazing idea. I've seen a lot of my guys at the top on this live, and I'm going to go and harass all of them in their organizations. You all need to start a blood
Great.
donation drive.
Awesome.
Bring and
Awesome.
bring and bring. I mean, they are well paid, so they eat well, and their blood will be good, I
Nice.
guess. Peter
Nice.
Paul, thank you
Yes,
so much for taking our
you're
time.
welcome.
Thank you to Ruben. I don't know if he's still on.
Yeah,
Instagram is going to kick us out very soon. And I like to keep it within an hour so that those watching the
great.
replay don't
Yeah,
have to go through excruciating
sure.
moments, or going too long.
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you. Is there anything you think we missed? I don't think we missed
Uh,
anything, but if you
yeah,
want
I
to
think
quickly wrap up.
the most important things. I mean, the conclusion is that blood donation is very essential to our health care system in Africa here. And it's something that
Yes.
we have to prioritize, that everyone has to put at the back of their minds and to see how best they can contribute to the blood banks and to having sufficient blood in our healthcare system because you never know when you would have an emergency.
Enough said. Thank you, Peter Paul. That is the
You're
golden
welcome.
final conclusion. You never know when
Yeah,
it's your turn. You never know.
yeah,
You never know. Let's ask questions. How can we contribute? So, how can the question is what can I do? You can donate. You can start a blood donation drive, as Peter Paul has said. You can
yeah,
use your events as a blood donation drive, your birthday parties. Inform
yeah,
your friends. As
yeah,
an organization, your CSR, you can do a blood donation drive. Media houses, please, please,
yeah,
please help us to spread the word.
yes,
Let's not wait on the government,
yeah,
right? It's not the government that is
sure,
dying in those hospitals, in those emergency
yes,
situations. It is us, it is our people, it is
sure,
we, the citizens.
mhm,
The government ain't dying, people. So
yes,
let us try and play our own part.
yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for coming on. We have 28 seconds. Instagram is about to kick us out. Thank you, Peter Paul. I'm going to
Thank
come
you,
to Ghana
Ayo.
real soon. I hope we meet. I
Sure,
hope we see. I hope we jollificate
definitely,
real soon.
definitely.
Thank you, Peter Paul. Bye.
Bye.